Have you ever gone on YouTube and seen a highly viewed video of a 10-year-old kid, or any child or teenager for that matter, singing or dancing at some talent show or figure skating at some competition? Have you ever wondered why these videos get so many views? I think it's due to humans' innate obsession with potential. Potential is limitless, at least in the human sense. Theoretically, anything that has potential can become the greatest thing to ever grace the earth. For example, any meal that is prepared, regardless of the smell, could be the best meal you'll ever have. Similarly to humans, that kid singing or dancing on that stage could be the greatest to ever do it. Theoretically, of course. When you click on one of these videos, the comment section is filled to the brim with positive and nice comments. Comments praising the youngster for their achievement or talent. When analyzing these comments, they are usually posted with the context of their age in mind, whether it's expressed directly or indirectly. Shaiapouf is a great example of this. An adult obsessing over a child.
Well, he's actually not an adult. Pouf and Miriam should be in and around the same age.
Wait, how?
Miriam died at 40 days old, and Pouf died at 69 days old.
Oh well, I guess that joke can't stand. Shaiapouf is a great example of this idea. A character overwhelmed, overjoyed, and willing to do anything to realize the never-ending potential of Miriam. But why is this the case? Why do humans do this? Why does Shaiapouf do this? And what ramifications does this type of thinking have on the individual and their potential? Shaiapouf is one of the 3 royal gods, and by far one of the most powerful beings in the story of Hunter x Hunter. During the Chimera Ant arc, he was usually around Miriam, acting as a right-hand man figure, or a secretary for Miriam. His goal as a royal god was to protect the king at any cost, and it's something that he took very seriously, and something that brought him immense pride. As previously mentioned, he wanted to help Miriam realize his potential. Anything that threatened this achievement frustrated Pouf. The continued prevalence of Komugi in Miriam's life deteriorated Pouf's mental state, from one of confidence and trust in Miriam to one of insanity and self-blame, perfectly encapsulated in Shaiapouf's monologues and his behavior in the final act of the Chimera Ant arc. Shaiapouf's behavior is an extreme depiction of the effects potential has on a person, although it can be argued that it isn't, but rather a depiction of an animal's innate mental wiring. I would argue that the Chimera Ants at this stage in the arc are part human, so a level of unpredictability shared by humans is also shared by the ants, like Pouf. This can be perfectly seen in Youpi's behavior in his fight against Knuckle and Co. Instead of thinking about his king constantly, he rather decides to relish in the thoughts of the battle and destruction. Back to Shaiapouf. His role as a royal god and as Miriam's secretary ultimately meant that he had an added role of guiding Miriam to the so-called promised land. With this much pressure, no wonder he went insane. It was a situation similar to unrequited love. Shaiapouf believing in the dream more than Miriam did. Way more. But none of this really answers the question at hand. Why are humans obsessed with potential? Have you ever seen a video of a plant blooming? It could be any plant, whether that be an apple, or a sunflower, or a rose. The feeling that I usually get from watching those videos is a feeling of satisfaction, and I would say to a certain extent, a feeling of joy. I think videos like those tap into our obsession with potential. We as humans like seeing things bloom. We enjoy seeing something become what we thought it would be. Now, although this idea can be used to describe interactions between a public figure with a lot of potential and regular civilians, I don't think it can be used to illustrate the interactions between a high potential individual that you're in contact with and, well, yourself. I think that apart from people feeling happy due to an individual reaching their potential, an added reason to their happiness is seeing or at least identifying happiness and satisfaction from the high potential individual. You are happy because the other person is happy with what they've accomplished. Shaiapouf was not sad because of Miriam's continued losses at the hands of Komugi, nor the fact that Komugi threatened the selection process, but rather he was sad because Miriam wasn't happy. Miriam was meant to be the ultimate being, an organism that could do anything and everything. But the one thing that he couldn't do was beat Komugi at Gungi. Miriam's claim to fame, or his flex for lack of a better term, was being the best, and unfortunately he just wasn't. Miriam did later realize that it didn't really matter whether he could beat Komugi, because he could kill her regardless. Shaiapouf did not know Miriam felt like this, and even if Miriam did kill Komugi, I don't think he would feel happy about it, based on the whole idea of being the best, and also the fact that Komugi was someone that Miriam valued. Shaiapouf thought that the only way that Miriam would be happy is if he realized his potential, but in hindsight, that wasn't the case. I think there's an argument to be made that Miriam was probably the most human-like ant out of all the Chimera ants, and if that is the case, Shaiapouf analyzing and evaluating through a Chimera Ant Royal Guard's lens ways in which to make Miriam happy was most definitely a fatal mistake. Because there's more to being a human than realizing your own potential.